So as you guys can see, I read a couple volumes of manga this month, nothing too crazy or anything. Hey, how's it going guys? I'm Blue Tempest and welcome to my reading log for the month of May 2021. As you guys saw from the intro, I do have a fat stack of manga that we need to get through for this reading log. But before we get into that, I do want to let you guys know that at the end of each of my reading logs, I will be crowning my manga of the month. So what that is, it's basically what my favorite read of the month is, and I'm going to be doing that for each and every one of these reading logs. So stick around till the end of the video so you can find out what that is for the month of May. And as a side note, just so you guys do know, all the other manga that I talk about in this video isn't going to be in any particular order or anything. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. So starting off, we have the first 2 volumes of Zom 100. Now, I haven't shown this off in my collection yet, and that's because Volume 1 I was lending out to my girlfriend, and then Volume 2 I just got, and you guys are gonna see that in a upcoming shopping video. But to get into my thoughts on this is a really enjoyable and funny series. If you guys haven't read this, definitely give it a shot. It's about a guy who has been slaving away at work all day and has no time to do anything in his free time, and basically he just really doesn't like his life. He's just wasting away at work, and then all of a sudden a zombie apocalypse breaks out. And so when that happens, you would think that it would be, a negative thing, but to the main character in this, he's actually having the time of his life and basically thriving in this apocalypse. So it's a pretty cool concept, and I definitely can't wait to get volume 3 of this, and I will for sure be doing a 3-volume rule video on this series in the future. So speaking of the 3-volume rule, next up we have the Shaman King omnibus. If you guys did watch my last video, then you guys know that I read this recently. And if you guys didn't see that video, definitely watch it so you guys can know my thoughts on this. Alright, so next up we have the first 5 volumes of Rent a Girlfriend. So I kind of picked this up on a whim. It may seem like a little bit of a questionable series, but I really enjoyed reading this. It's just a lot of fun. It's kind of like a romantic comedy type of story. And yeah, it's basically about this guy who gets dumped by his girlfriend. And so because he's all depressed and down in the dumps, he finds out about this rent-a-girlfriend service and rents this girl, Shizuru. And even though there's supposed to be no further attachments made with her, for reasons that I won't get into, the main character has to keep renting her. And yeah, it just gets really funny, and they get into some pretty interesting situations. So if you're into romantic comedies, things like Kaguya-sama and stuff like that, then I think you would definitely enjoy the series. Alright, so next up we have Solanin by Inio Asano. I haven't shown this off in my collection yet either, because I was lending it out. But I did give this a read pretty early on in the month, and if you guys don't know about Solanin or Inio Asano, he is a pretty beloved mangaka in the community, and this is basically a one-shot manga. So yeah, I read this all in one sitting, and it was a really enjoyable read. This is a slice of life coming-of-age story, and it's something that definitely impacted me, and I think it will resonate with a lot of younger people who are maybe trying to figure out what their next path in life is. Yeah, it's just a really down-to-earth and relatable manga, so I do recommend this. Just as a warning though, it is a little sad, but aside from that, this was a wonderful read, and I am looking forward to get into some more Inio Asano works in the future. Alright, and next up we have the first 5 volumes of Assassination Classroom. I'm having a lot of fun with this series. If you guys watched my first collection video, then you guys know that I talked a little bit on what this is about. Basically about this octopus looking alien creature that basically becomes a teacher for this class of misfits, and the class of students are all basically trying to assassinate him the entire time. But the funny thing about the series is that the octopus alien named Koro Sensei is actually a really good teacher and is teaching them like really great life lessons and things like that. So yeah, there's definitely a really interesting dynamic with Koro Sensei and the students, and even some of the other teachers in the school. So I'm definitely looking forward to read more of this. As you guys already know, I have the box set, so I have the entire series. So hopefully this month of June I will be reading some more of this. Don't know if I will finish it, because one thing I will say is that this isn't a super bingeable series for me. While I do enjoy it a lot, it is a little episodic in a way, at least from the first 5 volumes. So it's actually good that I can read other things in between it. So yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it, and I'm gonna keep on with this series and just kind of enjoy the ride. Alright, so next up we have the first volume of Undead Unluck. This is a brand new series from Shonen Jump, and I really enjoyed this first volume. This story is set in a world where there are these people called negators that basically negate the rules of the world. So the concept is a little confusing at first, but once you read it, it does get easier to understand. Basically, this character right here, her name is Fuko, and she has the power of unluck. And so what that means is that any person that she touches, something unlucky happens to that person. So she has actually accidentally like killed people in the past, and Fuko here is just really upset with being cursed to have this power. So in the beginning, you do see her kind of on the brink of ending her own life. That is until she meets this guy who we meet and is named Andy, and he has the power of undead, which means that no matter what happens, he can't die. So Fuko finally meets someone that she can touch without them actually dying or anything. And it kind of creates this really interesting dynamic between the two. And they actually team up to fight other negators using both of their powers together, which is really cool. The action in the series is super creative, and I can't wait to read more volumes of this when they come out. So yeah, that's Undead Unluck. And up next, we have Volume 5 of Chainsaw Man. So I recently got this volume just the other day in a manga haul that you guys will see as part of my June haul video when that comes out. But yeah, since this is Chainsaw Man, you guys already know I had to read this as soon as I got it in the mail. And man, this volume was so good. Honestly, I'm really tempted to just go ahead and read the rest of the series on the Shonen Jump app, because it is completely finished, at least the first part of it. And I don't know if I can keep waiting for these volumes to come out like 2 months in between. So I guess we'll find out in next month's reading log if I do actually end up reading this online. But yeah, that is Chainsaw Man Volume 5. Also, the cover on this might be my favorite Chainsaw Man cover yet. Alright, so before we get into my manga of the month, I do have one other series to talk about, and that is Blood on the Tracks. So I read volumes 1 through 4, and I read all of these in one sitting. It was a pretty quick read, and if you guys saw on my first collection video, I did kind of allude to this being one of the most unsettling reads that I have read yet. I went into this series blind, and I am so glad I did. So honestly, I think this is best enjoyed going into it without having known anything. As you guys can see by the covers, the only thing from the outside that you should know is that this is a series about a mother and her son. And that's basically all I'm really wanting to tell you guys about it. It is a psychological thriller, and yeah, if you guys are into that genre, definitely check it out. I don't know if I would recommend this to be your first Shuzo Oshimi work, if you've never read any of his works. But either way, it's an amazing read. And if you do have the chance to read it, I'd say go ahead, only if you are a fan of like psychological thrillers and horror and things like that. All right, and to close off the video, we have one more series to talk about, and that is my manga of the month for May 2021, and that is The Flowers of Evil, also by Shuzo Oshimi. Man, oh man, where do I even start with this? I basically binged this entire series in just 2 sittings, and man, was it a wild ride. I absolutely loved this series. It is a psychological thriller as well, maybe not as crazy as something like Blood on the Tracks, but it is still pretty insane. This story is also kind of like a coming of age story, and it really resonated with me. The more time that passes after having read this series, the more I think back on it, and still to this day, I'm thinking about the ending and thinking about just the whole journey that you go through in this. And honestly, I have no other words to say other than this series is a masterpiece in my opinion. There is honestly nothing I would change about this story. It is so well done. Everything from the artwork to the characters to just the crazy scenarios that happen in this. I think that this is easily one of my favorite manga that I have read yet. If you guys can get your hands on this series, please read it. I think it's a perfect introduction to Shuzo Oshimi's work, but also if you have read other works by him, then you will for sure love this series as well. But yeah, I can't speak any more praises on this than I've already have. Like I said, it's one of my favorite series that I've read so far. And it's another one of those that I think is best enjoyed if you go into it knowing as little as possible. So yeah, and that does it for my reading log for the month of May. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you guys have read any of the manga that I talked about in this video, please leave a comment and let me know your thoughts on them as well. And also let me know what you guys read in the month of May too. And if you guys don't already follow me on social media, the links for my TikTok, my Instagram, and my Twitter account are in the description below. And if you do enjoy all of the content I've been doing so far, consider hitting the notification bell so you can get notified every time I upload a new video. So with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.